champs are here. It's Friday Night X-Light, a big weekend planned at Chase Field. Huge crowds anticipated on this festive weekend as we celebrate Cinco de Mayo. The reigning World Series champion Houston Astros have arrived for 3 games. It's the D-backs and the Astros on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume, Bob Brenly along the way. So the champs are in for 3. This will be a series that tests the D-backs rotation depth. Matt Cook taking over for the injured Taijuan Walker since Taijuan's Tommy John surgery will pitch here Sunday against Justin Verlander. Tonight it's Robbie Ray's turn, but Robbie out with that oblique problem. And so Bob, Chris Medlin steps in for his first big league appearance in 2 years.
He's got to have some butterflies, no doubt about it, especially facing the defending world champions. But Chris Medlin, when we last saw him pitch at the major league level, had a couple of different fastballs. He'd work both ways. Real good overhand curve and a tremendous straight changeup. Hopefully he'll be on top of his game tonight because he's going to need to be against the Astros.
Yeah, they are the headliners, the World Series champions. You've got Springer and Correa and Gurriel and Reddick, but of course everybody knows Jose Altuve.
American League MVP, 5-time All-Star, 4 Silver Slugger awards, 4 times he's led the American League in hits. The list just goes on and on and on. At 5'8", maybe the biggest player in their lineup.
And they'll have the big right-hander Garrett Cole on the mound against Chris Medlin. D-backs and Astros coming up on Fox Sports Arizona. D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By APS. APS works 24/7 to keep you plugged in, powered up, and connected. By Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. Chaz Roberts, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. Buy Amstel X-Light. Grab the 90 cal 2-car beer with great taste today. And by Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs score free jumbo jacks only at Jack in the Box. Oh, what a night to be at the ballpark. It is beautiful here in downtown Phoenix. The roof and panels wide open. Chris Medlin makes his first big league appearance in 2 years. Next. Field. Welcome in Steve Berthiaume, Bob Renly, Jody Jackson along the way. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks, first of 3 against the World Series champs, the Houston Astros. A big weekend expected here at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. Houston comes in percentage points behind the Angels for the American League West lead. George Springer and company 20-13, but they've lost 3 straight coming into this series. Here's their lineup tonight. It's presented by your Valley Chevy dealer.
George Springer will lead it off out in right field, followed by that guy we talked about in the open, Jose Altuve at second base. Carlos Correa will be at shortstop. Yuli Gurriel down at first base. Josh Reddick will be in left field tonight with Alex Bregman at third. Max Stassi doing the catching. Jake Marisnick will be in center field, and right-hander Garrett Cole on the mound.
And here comes, for the first time in 2 years, Chris Medlin onto a big league mound. And what a night for it. 32-year-old right-hander. He's your Ram truck starter for the D-backs, taking the rotation spot for the injured Robbie Ray. Medlin once a 15-game winner with Atlanta. Tonight, his first big league appearance in 2 years, says he's good to go and confident.
We pay very little attention to Pacific Coast League numbers for pitchers. Very tough place to pitch. Chris Medlin, as I mentioned in the open of the show, works his fastball both ways. He'll sink it, he'll cut it, he'll throw the occasional high four-seamer. Good straight changeup, good over-the-top curveball.
E.D. Marshall Jewelers gives us a look around the diamond at the D-backs defense.
The speedy Gerard Dyson will be out in right field with A.J. Pollock in center. David Peralta over in left field. It'll be Descalso and Ahmed on the left side of the infield with Chris Owings and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side tonight. Alex Avila behind the plate for the right-hander Chris Medlin.
Dan Isonia behind the plate for the umpires. He'll have the balls and strikes. Mike DeMuro's at first base. Roberto Ortiz at second, and the crew chief Brian Gorman is our third base umpire tonight. Beautiful night at the ballpark. D-backs come into this series holding the National League's best record at 21-10, matching the best start in club history. But this is the series, Bob, that really maybe for the first time all year, their depth really gets to severe test.
Yeah, this is a real measuring stick against the defending world champions, and unfortunately it starts at the bottom of the rotation, so Chris Medlin gets the first nod to face this Astros ball club. But you know, the old saying, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
The Astros will roll out their 3 best pitchers against the D-backs. Garrett Cole tonight, Charlie Morton tomorrow, and Justin Verlander, who's been the best pitcher in the league, will work in the finale on Sunday.
It's amazing how similar these 2 pitching staffs are statistically. The only 2 staffs in Major League Baseball with team ERAs under 3 going into play tonight. Across the board, the numbers are very similar for both of these pitching staffs.
A big moment for Chris Medlin as George Springer, the right fielder, steps in for the Astros, and we are set to go from downtown Phoenix on a gorgeous Friday night.
Hit it to Nick.
That's good strategy. Fastball is there at the knee. Springer 256 and 6 home runs. Just by a diving Daniel Descalso, and it rolls into left field, a leadoff single. Chris Medlin has admitted to some nerves. For him, it feels about the same as when he first got called up to the big leagues. That was with Atlanta back in 2009. And now he will deal with the reigning AL MVP, Jose Altuve, leading Houston in hitting at .328.
Altuve's played 15 games here at Chase Field. He's had hits in 14 of the 15 games. 5 of them were multi-hit games. Of course, you could say that about just about every ballpark he plays in.
That one bounces away from Avila, and Springer moves up to second. A fastball in the dirt from Chris Medlin. Tori Lavello was telling us today, if Medlin tonight, or whoever is in this Robbie Ray spot, can just get 15 outs every time he's out there, they'll be just fine. That's really what they want. They've told Chris tonight, look, just go out and go as hard as you can for as long as you can, and we'll figure out the rest. There's that changeup that, when Medlin was healthy and winning 15 games with Atlanta, was his best pitch.
Yeah, that was his swing and a miss pitch. Keep it down in the zone with some fading action.
And when he's been at his best, he's had an outstanding changeup and curveball mix, especially the change. A lot of swings and misses with it. Fastball misses down and in. He's behind on Altuve 3-0 with Carlos Correa, the shortstop, on deck. Medlin will work down in the zone a lot. They'd like to see him command his fastball to both sides of the plate, mix up velocities and movements.
Yeah, something to file away for future reference in this 3-game series. A 3-0 swing from Jose Altuve. I would imagine that A.J. Hinch gives most of his hitters the green light 3-0.
This guy can do whatever he wants for me. I mean,
pretty much.
Last year's AL MVP Altuve has led the league in hitting each of the last 4 years. He won his 3rd batting title last year. Hit .346. And he belts that one toward the left field corner. This will get Springer home with the game's first run. Altuve heading for second, and he's in there with an RBI double. 2 batters in. It's 1-0 Houston.
Very aggressive swing, 3-0, and even more aggressive swing, 3-1. That fastball appeared to be off the plate inside, but that's how quick Altuve can be. Got the bat head on it and drove it out into that left field corner for an RBI double.
Carlos Correa. Correa 307, 5 homers. He leads the Astros in RBIs and OPS. Change up in the dirt. Correa homered yesterday against the Yankees in Houston. A home run that was measured at 446 feet, the longest at Minute Maid Park this year. The Astros have been an excellent road team this year, 10-4 away from Minute Maid Park, and Correa has been a big reason why. Hitting over 460 on the road so far this year. Another changeup misses, 2-0.
That's a pretty drastic difference, home and road for Correa. There's some grumbling, or at least we've heard some rumors of grumbling about the batter's eye at Minute Maid Park.
I was going to say that's usually a terrific hitter's park, you would think, especially for a right-hand batter.
Perhaps it's just the time of year and where the sun is when the game starts. Maybe they get a little glare off the batter's eye. Not sure exactly the reason, but I've heard a few players talking about that.
We'll be there in September. That's the next time we'll see the Astros. Here's a fastball for a strike. Yeah, the Astros just completed a very disappointing homestand, 6 losses in 10 games. They just dropped their last 3 against the Yankees, and during that homestand Houston went 28 straight innings without scoring a run. Their longest scoreless streak since 1992. So they've been scuffling just a bit here. There's a curveball that just gets the inside corner. It's 2-2. Yuli Gurriel on deck. One of their postseason heroes from their World Series run last year. Medlin still looking for his first out in the ball game. 2-2 on Correa, with Altuve at second base and a run in. High hop for Nick Ahmed, and there it is. Altuve stays put, 1 away.
That's kind of a tricky play for a shortstop. You have to kind of wait for that soft line drive to take the first bounce, but it has a lot of side English on it, so when it hits the ground you're never quite sure where it's going to go. So Nick had to kind of play that one up into his body before throwing across for the out.
Yuli Gurriel, 243 and a homer. Gurriel comes into the series riding a 5-game hitting streak. This is hit to center. Altuve being waved home. The throw from Pollock is cut off, and it's 2-0 Houston.
That sinker coming right back to the middle of the plate for Gurriel. He just bangs it right back where it came from. Well, that throw from AJ appeared to be right on line. Goldie, of course, has a much better view of it than we do out in the middle of the infield, but he cut that ball off to hold Gurriel at first. It looked like they might have had a play at the plate.
D-backs will put the shift on for Josh Reddick, the left-hand batter. Ahmed on the first base side of second. Boy, if Chris could just get through this first inning, kind of give him a chance to settle in, I'm sure that would be a big help. Reddick, 242. He's got 6 home runs. Descalso all by himself on the left-hand side. This is a night Chris Medlin at one point a couple of years ago when he was going to retire thought might never happen. This is a guy who's been through not one but two Tommy John surgeries, repeated rotator cuff problems a few years ago, and the goal tonight is to prove to himself that he can work through some things and persevere, and he's had to do that here in the first inning. Fastball missed. 3-0 on Reddick. Alex Bregman on deck. Medlin tonight his first major league appearance since May 10th of 2016 when he was with Kansas City. And he walks Reddick. This will get Mike Butcher out there. Been a long road for Chris Medlin. Two Tommy John surgeries. Over the last 4 years, he's appeared in only about 21 major league games. And his career has been from the top of your game to about as low as you can go. And he's admitted there have been times when trying to throw the pitches he used to throw that his body would tell him, no, you can't do that anymore. So he's had to kind of reinvent himself just a little bit, but he's been through a lot.
Well, this ballpark has to have a special place in Chris Medlin's heart. He got his first major league win right here at Chase Field back on May 31st, 2009. Gave up only 1 earned run in 6 innings. It says in the notes that he walked the very first batter he faced, Kelly Johnson, for the Diamondbacks. Chipper Jones came over from third base to talk to him, give him a little bit of a pep talk, and he retired 14 of the next 15 batters. So perhaps Chipper Jones should think about being a pitching coach.
Here's Bregman, one of the World Series heroes, 252 with a homer. Gurriel's at second, Reddick is at first. 1 out and 2 runs are in. First pitch swing and hit toward the line in right. Dyson drifting over there. Gurriel's at second, and he'll head for third.
Well, Chris needed that. A quick pitch at bat right there. Bregman goes down with that lazy fly ball toward the line in right field. Gurriel was able to move up to third base, but now 2 outs in the inning.
Astros, a team that carries 3 catchers if you count Evan Gattis, who does a lot of DHing. And here's one of them, Max Stassi, behind the plate tonight. 244 and 2 homers. There is El Oso Blanco, the White Bear. Evan Gattis. They have the veteran Brian McCann as well. But Stassi gets the start tonight. Here's that fastball from Medlin right at 90 miles an hour and right at the bottom of the strike zone. That's where he lives when he's pitching well. 4 starts with AAA Reno this year. Chris 0-3. His previous start with the Aces was last Wednesday, so he's not pitched in 9 days. There's that changeup. That's the money pitch right there.
Yeah, even though he has not pitched off a mound in game action for a while, I'm sure he's thrown a couple of bullpen sessions in preparation for this start here tonight.
Gurriel's at third, Reddick at first. And Medlin was scheduled to start for Reno on Monday, but he was held back from that start to keep him available for this week, and here he is out there tonight. Another changeup. Medlin gets the strikeout and strands 2. D-backs coming up. baseball. D-backs trail it early 2-0. Your Ram truck starter for Houston, the right-hander Garrett Cole, acquired from Pittsburgh in January. 2-1, a 1.73 ERA. He has been nothing short of dominant, third in the major leagues in strikeouts.
Boy, this guy has been not only outstanding, he's been a horse at least 7 innings in his first 5 starts of the season. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 starts. Went 6 2/3 last time out. Big time strikeout pitcher. 61 punch outs in 41 2/3 innings. Good 4-seam fastball. He'll work up in the zone. Throws a curveball, slider, change up.
David Peralta set to go here against Garrett Cole, the former first overall pick in the 2011 draft out of UCLA. David, 297 and 5 homers. Slices this one toward the left field corner. Reddick near the line. One away. Valley Chevy Dealers has the D-backs lineup tonight.
Yeah, David Peralta out in left field, leading it off. Gerard Dyson making his way to the plate. He's out in right field. Paul Goldschmidt down at first. A.J. Pollock out in center field. Daniel Descalso gets the start at third base tonight with Chris Owings at second. Nick Ahmed at short. Alex Avila doing the catching for right-hander Chris Medlin.
Gerard Dyson, the right fielder tonight. Bregman comes in from third on the grass. Gurriel from first. Fastball misses away. Dyson 173, a pair of homers. Off the mound, Correa behind the bag. 2 down. E.D. Marshall Jewelers gives us a look around the diamond at the Astros defense.
Across the outfield, you'll have Josh Reddick in left, Jake Marisnick in center, George Springer over in right field. Alex Bregman will be at third base with Carlos Correa at short. Jose Altuve at second, Yuli Gurriel at first base. Max Stassi doing the catching for the big right-hander Garrett Cole.
He's in a Paul funk. That's how Torey Lovullo put it yesterday. Goldie 245 and 4 home runs. 95 off the plate, gets the call, and it's 0-1. Goldie 1 for 15 without an RBI in the 4 games here against the Dodgers this week. He has been striking out a whole bunch lately. Curveball from Cole. Goldie has struck out twice in 5 straight games. Trying to get right. Knocks that the other way, but Springer is there. A shutdown inning for Garrett Cole. D-backs trail it 2-0.
here at Chase Field. Jody Jackson with you. It's time for our top of the order things to watch for. Now we saw Chris Medlin is returned to the majors for the first time in almost 2 years. So 22 pitches in that first inning. I was talking to Gerard Dyson earlier tonight. They were teammates with Kansas City on that World Series team. He said, look, I give him a lot of credit. He's made some money in this game. He's had some accolades in this game, and he could have easily retired, but he loves the game of baseball, and that is why he's out here right now fighting and trying to help the Diamondbacks. Guys, another thing is David Peralta and Jose Altuve, both countrymen, both from Venezuela. They'll be doing an appearance tomorrow trying to help the communities in Venezuela by collecting gloves. And I talked to them both today. Peralta was a little bit in awe, I think, of Altuve. And Altuve, well, he was a little bit upset about his 0 for 5 yesterday. But it was fun to talk hitting with them a little bit, guys.
Great job by all the Venezuelan players around the major leagues trying to help out their countrymen back home who are going through a very difficult time. Jake Marisnick leads off the second inning. That one got Alex Avila.
Like a pretty solid shot that time. Avila reaching back to the inside corner, takes it off the left side of the helmet there. Ricochets up off the backstop. He immediately told Dan Iasonia he was okay, but Dan went out to the mound anyway to give him a moment.
Marisnick, the number 8 hitter, the center fielder. Garrett Cole, the pitcher, on deck. Saw some good change-ups near the end of that first inning from Chris Medlin, who hopefully now has a chance to settle in.
A little inside the game here. Watch Dan Iasonia. He puts his right hand very, very gently on the back of Alex Avila. So if he can sense some movement, you know, maybe he's set up on one corner and the pitch is thrown back to the other one. The home plate umpire can sense how much the catcher is moving because his hand is, as I said, very lightly resting on the catcher's back.
Iasonia, former World Series umpire, generally considered a strike caller back there. Good change up from Medlin. Back-to-back strikeouts. He gets Marisnick to start the second. I don't think he wants the pitch up that high, but it worked out.
Yeah, you see the hand of the home plate umpire on the back of the catcher, and to be honest with you, you don't even notice it. There were several umpires when I played that used to rest their hand on the catcher's back, and I didn't even know it until somebody pointed it out.
The pitcher, Garrett Cole. Some of those guys back in your day, they were big dudes.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of weight coming down on you.
Now some of those guys, you knew you were going to be in the shade all day.
Garrett Cole, of course, longtime Pittsburgh Pirate, so he's used to hitting, but not lately, having moved over now to the American League. He's a big dude, 6'4", 225. Another changeup from Medlin. Medlin's last major league appearance, May of 2016. That was with the Kansas City Royals. He's battled rotator cuff problems there. Spent all of last season pitching the Braves minor league system. Signed a minor league deal with the D-backs in January. That fastball just a little low, and it's full 3-2. Got him. 3 straight strikeouts for Medlin. 2 down.
Hey fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
George Springer, the leadoff man, singled and scored to start the ball game. Curveball upstairs. George Springer from New Britain, Connecticut. He was a UConn teammate of Nick Ahmed's. They both played their college baseball in Storrs, Connecticut. That was a good UConn team. They had Mike Olt on that team, Matt Barnes, the Red Sox pitcher as well, Springer and Ahmed.
That really is remarkable to have that many guys go to what you wouldn't immediately think of as a baseball school. Guys with that kind of talent normally gravitate to the warmer weather, the LSUs, the Arizona States of the world, if you will. The UConn.
Springer was a first rounder out of UConn in 2011, the 11th overall pick by the Astros. And Nick in that same draft was a second round pick by the Atlanta Braves. Altuve on deck. Well, Chris is settling in here, especially against the bottom portions of this Astros order. He's set down 4 in a row. And he's 3-2 on the leadoff man, Springer. So far he's walked 1, he struck out 3. Descalso gives way to Ahmed. They got a hurry, and Springer, who runs well, beats it out. Very slowly hit. A little moment of hesitation there by Descalso. Decided to let it go and let Nick take it. And Springer has an infield single.
We talk about it all the time. The third baseman has the right, if you will, to cut in front of the shortstop and take anything he can get to. That little bit of momentum that the third baseman has moving laterally to his left helps set him up for the throw to first base. Nick had to kind of flat-footedly fire that one across, and not in time to get Springer.
And here's Altuve, who had an RBI double and scored a run his first time up. Springer, for a leadoff man, does not run a whole lot. He does not have a stolen base this year. He's a much bigger threat to hit a home run from the leadoff spot than get on board and steal a base.
Yeah, the Astros don't run a lot in general. Alex Bregman leads the team with 3 stolen bases. He's been caught twice.
And Altuve, who is always good for 30 a year, only has 1 this season. Altuve does that thing where he's sort of casually standing there watching the pitcher while the pitcher looks in for his sign, the bat on the shoulder, always messing with his helmet. But it's like he's waiting for a bus. He'll just kind of stand in there, very relaxed. There's the helmet. That comes almost every time. Bat on the shoulder. All right, we're ready to go. Here we go. Fastball up and in. Now he's behind on Altuve, 3-0 with Correa on deck.
Yeah, he may look like he's waiting on a bus as he's standing there, but once he's ready to hit, he looks like he's chasing a bus.
Last year's American League MVP.
He's one of those guys back in the day when I caught, I would try to wait as long as possible. Okay, get the sign. Medlin will go up in the set position. Altuve will start pumping that bat, pumping that bat, pumping that bat. Try to make him do that for a long time. You know, I mentioned in his first at bat, Altuve was hacking at that 3-0 pitch. That was the first time all season he had swung at a 3-0 pitch. Now in this at bat, he's 3-0 again.
Wow.
Oh, he was 3-0. He swung at the pitch.
3-1. Missed with a changeup. Couple of 2-out base runners for Correa. Second walk issued by Medlin.
That may be one of those adjustment things. You know, you go the entire first month of the season without swinging at a 3-0 pitch. Roll the calendar over to the month of May, and now he's going to be very aggressive on 3-0 counts. The word is out. These guys don't swing 3-0 very often. And they may try to ambush some opposing pitchers.
2 on and 2 out. Correa grounded out his first time up. First pitch swinging, that's trying to get into the seats, and it's out of play. Correa still just 23 years old. Good Lord. He's already been a big leaguer for 3 years and hit at least 20 home runs every year. He is one of the game's true up and coming superstars. He's only 23. That's just not fair. Chris going to that changeup a whole bunch here.
Well, occasionally a pitcher can kind of ease into the opposing lineup, throw a lot of fastballs, maybe mix in a breaking ball here or there. And this Astros team is not the kind of team you ease into. You better have all your weapons working when you throw that first pitch of the game.
Curveball got away from Chris. 2-1. Chris Medlin's career includes a long list of very serious injuries. Tommy John surgery in 2010. Came back in 2012 and went 10-1 in Atlanta. And then a 15-game winner in 2013. But then the following spring, a second Tommy John surgery. He's had rotator cuff problems all last year in the minor leagues. But getting a chance here tonight down the right field line. Dyson on the run, giving chase, and that's a fair ball. Springer is home. Altuve right behind. No throw, and it's 4-0 Astros.
Put it in the one place that Jarrod Dyson could not get to it. He was shaded a little bit over into the gap in right center. Had a long run to get to this ball. Just looked like it hit right on the foul line down there in the very corner, and then he slipped on his throw back to the infield. They had no play at the plate anyway.
2-run double for Correa. Yuli Gurriel, who had an RBI single in his first at bat tonight. And they're going to challenge some part of that play. I guess maybe fair or foul. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. Let's take a look. Ooh.
Well, if it catches any part of that chalk line out there, it's considered a fair ball. And as much as I hate to say it, it looked like it hit right on the outside of the foul line. A little bit of dirt and chalk mixed together, kicked up in the air.
But you know what? At this point in the game, when it's 4-0, maybe you roll the dice, gamble a challenge here, try and maybe get somebody in New York to see something, and you can make it a 2-0 game and try and get out of this mess.
Now you can see the mark right there on the foul line.
That's pretty definitive.
Yeah, pretty tough to argue against that.
You see crew chief Brian Gorman on the right there on the headset with New York, and they'll take a look.
There you see former Diamondback Alex Cintrone, the first base coach for the Houston Astros, talking it over down there with Correa. Alex was kind of a translator, an extra coach last season, and they liked what they saw from Alex, and found his way back out on the field in uniform.
So the call stands. That's a 2-run double for Correa, a 4-0 Astros lead, and Yuli Gurriel is the hitter. All of this coming with 2 outs after Medlin has struck out Marisnick and Cole to start the inning.
And you think back to that infield hit by George Springer.
Yeah.
Possibly Descalso could have cut in front of Nick Ahmed and have a slightly easier play at first base.
One more time, Dyson on the run, headed toward the corner, and he runs that one down. But the Astros get 2 more. D-backs trail at 4-0. Back at Chase Field, A.J. Pollock leads off the D-back second against right-hander Garrett Cole. Cole coming off a 1-2-3-7 pitch first inning, now holding a 4-0 lead. A.J. hitting .307, tied for the league lead with 10 home runs, 6th in the majors in OPS. Astros put 3 infielders on the left-hand side. There's a Garrett Cole fastball at 95. Dan Isoni is a strike caller, so anything right around the edge of the strike zone, you're generally going to get the call. Here's a look at the Astros defense against Pollock. AJ, 2 more hits yesterday against the Dodgers, and he was 8 for 16 in the 4 games against LA with a double and 4 home runs.
It seemed like he had more hits than that,
didn't it?
Oh, he was so hot.
Back in there in the cleanup spot today.
Boy, and even his outs, most of them were barreled up line drives or deep fly balls, hard ground balls.
Oh, there's a Garrett Cole slider at 88 right at the knees, and he gets his first strikeout. Time now, Bob, for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Well, with the 3 starting pitchers that the Diamondbacks offense is going to face in this series, you're going to hear the word grind a lot. Try to run up some pitch counts. The best chance you have against Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander and Charlie Morton is to run up a pitch count and get them out of the game early. Diamondbacks made 3 quick outs in that first inning.
Verlander's been the best pitcher in the American League so far this year. He starts Sunday. Curveballs to strike 1 to Descalso, and they're at third tonight. 240 and 3 homers. Yes, he went, says Brian Gorman. 0-2, a fastball at 96. Still no Jake Lamb. His return has been delayed again, this time by aggravated discomfort in that left shoulder. An MRI yesterday showed some inflammation in Jake's shoulder. That one's fouled away, and so he needed a cortisone shot, and they will shut down Lamb's rehab just a bit to give the shot a chance to take effect a couple of days. But we've gone from the shoulder problem to the elbow tendonitis, now back to the shoulder.
Well, unfortunately, it's not that uncommon with guys coming back from injuries. You know, initially you rest it, you get treatments, and you just kind of leave the area alone. You don't tax it, you don't put it through your normal daily routine that you do as a baseball player, and gradually you get the strength back. But when you start doing baseball activities again, occasionally you can irritate those muscles in there and have some inflammation, and hopefully nothing serious for Jake.
Torey Lovullo said they weren't really concerned. All part of the process, as you just said. Comes with the territory. In the meantime, you've got Descalso back in third, and boy, you know, he's been tremendous. Since the first week of April, he's raised his batting average by about 100 points. Devin Marrero's done a terrific job filling in at third against left-handers.
Yeah, defensively, the position has been in real good hands.
Oh, yeah. 97 in, a little too far in for Dan Isoni.
It's a little hard, however, to duplicate what Jake Lamb brings offensively.
Got him with a curveball. Second strikeout for Cole.
Like a spike curve or a knuckle curve that time. Straight down movement. That 12-6 break on that curveball.
Garrett Cole just set an American League record with 61 strikeouts in the month of April. His first month in Houston after coming over from the Pirates in an offseason trade. Chris Owings in at second base. And here's a curveball just below the zone, but it's strike 1.
He had 36 strikeouts through his first 3 starts this year. 11, 11, and 14 against the Texas Rangers.
His previous start was Sunday against Oakland when Cole struck out a dozen Athletics. And he's ahead of Owings, 0-2. Max Scherzer and Garrett Cole's teammate Justin Verlander are the only pitchers in baseball who've put up more strikeouts than Garrett Cole. He just closed out April by becoming only the 4th pitcher in Astros history to strike out at least 60 batters in a single calendar month. And the other 3 were J.R. Richard, Mike Scott, and Randy Johnson. And he strikes out the side in the second. 97 got him looking at a fastball. D-backs trail it 4-0. Chris Medlin, they lead at 4-0. Chase Field, the place to be tomorrow. Cinco de Mayo. Before the 5 o'clock game against Houston, head to the free D-backs Fiesta. You'll enjoy live music, a salsa tasting, a beer and margarita garden, and a whole lot more. Cinco de Mayo here at the ballpark tomorrow. Check out dbacks.com/Cinco for all the details. Josh Reddick leads off the Houston third. D-backs have the shift on against the left-hand batter. There's a fastball down and away. It's 1-1. Reddick from that baseball powerhouse, Middle Georgia College. I believe that's centrally located.
Somewhere in the middle of Georgia?
That's, yeah, say, oh, I might as well just name it that. Came up with the Boston Red Sox, of course, played with the Oakland A's, and got a big free agent deal last offseason from Houston. 4 years, $52 million. Shift is on. Ahmed is over there to collect that one. Nice play by Nick. Usually it's Eastern Tennessee or Western Oregon or Southern something. But not in Middle Georgia. They're right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yeah. Can't miss it.
Very descriptive.
Alex Bregman. Well, you know, every time you turned on one of the Astros postseason games last year, this guy was making a ridiculous play at third base. He put on a defensive clinic in October last year. It was sensational.
He was reminiscent of Brooks Robinson back in the day.
It really was. Boy, he was impressive. Bregman, the second overall pick in the 2015 draft out of LSU. He was the player taken immediately after the Diamondbacks drafted Dansby Swanson, who's now in Atlanta. Good curveball from Chris right there at the bottom of the zone. It's 1-2. Bregman is a disciplined hitter. You've got to throw him strikes. He has walked more than he struck out this year. And there's not a lot of players about whom you can say that. That's in the air, foul. Left that changeup up. Why can't it be dangerous for a right-hand pitcher to throw a changeup to a right-hand batter?
Well, the natural movement on most right-handers changeup is to tail back into the hitter. Most of the time you're trying to throw that changeup out on the outside part of the plate.
Right.
Because as the batter swings at it, he'll be way out in front.
Ooh, just missed.
Out there. Yeah, just missed with that heater. Yeah, so you try to throw the changeup away. Batter will be out in front. He'll miss it by the end of the bat. If that pitch happens to fade back over the heart of the plate, that's when they catch it on the barrel instead of the end of the bat. Especially if it's up.
He's thrown a few up to right-handers so far tonight. Ahmed at shortstop. 2 down.
Well, you're going to see all of his pitches here. First pitch slider for a called strike. Then he misses away with the changeup. Dropped the curve in there for a foul ball. Another changeup that was pulled foul. That was the only fastball in the sequence. He just missed that outside corner and then came back actually with a cutter up high that last pitch. Grounded to Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Everything that Chris Medlin throws you just saw.
Nationwide Vision Centers giving us a look at Medlin versus Bregman. Here's the catcher Max Stassi. Ball miss 1-0. Stassi struck out to win the first. Astros got 2 in the first. Jose Altuve an RBI double. Yuli Gurriel an RBI single. Correa had a 2-run double in the second. And Medlin now over 60 pitches for the ball game. And we're only in the third inning. Medlin's been over 90 pitches in each of his last 2 starts at Reno. Threw a season high 93 in his previous outing in Sacramento. Fastball in. Another one right there. Anything generally right around the strike zone, Dan Iassoni will call a strike. But it's got to be a borderline pitch at least. Missed his spot. 3-1. Marisnik on deck. That's hammered down the left field line and out of play. Missed with another changeup. Third base on balls issue. Marisnik, a strikeout victim his first time, the center fielder.
Yeah, Jake Marisnik, the number 8 hitter in the Astros lineup, his second at bat of the ball game here in the third inning. The Diamondbacks haven't even been through the lineup one time yet.
Garrett Cole has retired all 6 he's faced. He struck out the side in the second. The Chris Iannetta special. The check swing foul ball. That used to happen to Chris all the time.
That belt high sinker on the inside part of the plate that kind of chases you out of there, but you've already started your swing.
You always get the aggravated reaction from the hitter when that happens.
Gumby shoulders. That's what Darrell Evans used to call it.
Darrell Evans.
Take a deep breath and just see the guy's shoulders drop down. Oh no.
Fastball just off the plate, but it's strike 2. Medlin trying to put up a 0 for the first time tonight. Really leaning on that changeup.
His fastball command has not been excellent so far. He's missed his spot from one side of the plate to the other a couple of times. Trying to get by with off-speed pitches until he can find that fastball command.
Yeah, came in with it that time, and it's 2-2. The pitcher Garrett Cole on deck. Boy, that changeup really sailed on Chris that time, and he's worked it full 3-2. "70 pitches, only 37 for strikes. He's walked 3 and struck out 3. There goes Stassi from first, and Marisnik lifts that one foul ground first base side for Goldie. Near the Astros dugout, and he's got it. D-backs trail the Astros 4-0. On Hervey Solarte, a face plant in Cleveland yesterday. This didn't go well, but look how it ended later in that same game. Bases loaded, grand slam.
Yeah, he was 0 for 1 on slides, but he was 8 for 10 on the day in the doubleheader.
That was yesterday. The Blue Jays in Cleveland on Hervey Solarte. That was not a good slide.
Wow. That's right up there with the worst I've ever seen.
Not quite. Well, Ruben Rivera didn't get a chance to slide, but in base running terms, it was not very good. Nick Ahmed leads off the third against Garrett Cole, who's retired all 6 he's faced. He struck out the side in the second. And he's mixing up 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, hard sliders, curveballs. He is your basic nightmare. Ahmed 245 homers. And follows the breaking ball up with a hard fastball right there. Acquired by the Astros in January from the Pirates, Garrett Cole, for 4 players. And he has been just ridiculously good for Houston. Ooh, that's been a strike most of the night. Cole wanted it right there, you can tell. AJ Hinch says whatever word you want to say about Garrett Cole probably fits. Elite, dominant, exceptional, spectacular. He used them all. Tried the slider. Garrett Cole is really the personification of the big power right-hander. Alex Avila, the on-deck hitter. 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, hard sliders at 88, 89, 95 right down the middle. He'll mix in that curveball. And Bob was saying you go through his game logs. In his Astros debut, he struck out 11 Rangers. Followed that by striking out 11 Padres, then 14 Rangers. His last time out, he struck out a dozen Oakland A's. 61 strikeouts in the month of April, an American League record. And he struck out 4 in a row here tonight.
Hey fans, a D-backs home run tonight means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Alex Avila behind the plate tonight. Alex at 157 with a pair of homers. Houston will put the shift on against Avila. They'll overload the right-hand side. You see Correa back on the outfield grass along with Altuve. D-backs are up against it this weekend. They have drawn a tough hand here. 3 outstanding pitchers in Garrett Cole, Charlie Morton, and Justin Verlander. Morton starts tomorrow. He's 4-0. Verlander 4-0. He goes on Sunday. How about this? This is how stupid this is. Cole's ERA is 1.73. Okay. Morton's ERA is 1.72. Verlander's ERA is 1.13. Every guy is better than the last one. Curveball right there. 1-2. So go get them.
Yeah. Grind some at bats.
I mean, there they are. That is a dominant pitching staff. And Garrett Cole has now struck out 5 consecutive Diamondbacks. Nationwide Vision Center, the pitch by pitch.
Starting with a fastball, he fouled that one off. Missed down low with a curveball. Came back with another curve for a called strike. And hey, see if you can hit this one. 96 up in the zone.
Chris Medlin. Can Garrett Cole strike out the side in consecutive innings? Here's a good start. A fastball, 0-1. Medlin does have 1 home run in his career. Longtime Atlanta Brave. Hitting is nothing new for him. Garrett Cole strikes out 6 consecutive D-backs. He leads it 4-0. Our D-backs 50-50 charity raffle presented by the Arizona Lottery, right there from home along with all of us at the ballpark. It's your chance to win half the pot here and help kids in our community. Get your tickets online during every D-backs home game on Fox Sports Arizona at dbacks.com/50-50 raffle. And the winning number gets revealed on the D-backs live post-game show.
Expecting some big crowds here this weekend. You want to get in on that 50-50.
Yeah, big pots. It's already up to almost $16,000 tonight. We anticipate about 100,000 fans in here for this 3-game series. dbacks.com/50-50. Garrett Cole, the Astros pitcher who has struck out 6 consecutive batters on the mound, leads off the Houston 4th against Chris Medlin. Boy, really lost the handle on that changeup. That's happened to Chris a few times tonight, trying to keep that pitch down. It sails way up above the strike zone. And he's behind on the pitcher, 2-0. Chris Medlin, 32-year-old right-hander, taking the spot for the injured Robbie Ray. Robbie out with that oblique problem. And so Medlin gets the first chance to fill the rotation spot. Leadoff man George Springer, 2 for 2 already, is on deck. Boy, dropped that curveball in there nicely. 4th strikeout for Chris.
You know, all fastballs until that strike 3 curve from Chris Medlin. The first 2 fastballs both missed way up high out of the zone. I mean, that's a sinker too. He's missing up there above the shoulders, and then gets back in the zone with a couple 87-mile-an-hour heaters, and then drops that curveball right on the outside corner.
Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. One away for Springer, who singled twice and scored twice. Really tied him up with a changeup. Springer was an all-star last year, hit 34 home runs. There's a little tapper that gets by Medlin. Owings has to charge it. Springer can run, and they get him at first. Close play down there.
I'm sure the Astros are going to want to take a look at this. Springer just kind of bumps that ball to the right side of the field. It's going to be a tough play for Chris Owings, who has to scoop and throw all in one motion. Mike DeMuro, the first base umpire, initially called out.
Looks like they're going to challenge the out call at first. Headsets are coming on.
Well, as we always point out, it's when the ball is in the back of the first baseman's glove. And if indeed that's the case, it looked to me like he beat it.
I have that as safe. We'll find out what Brian Gorman hears from New York. Don't forget, fans, come on out to the ballpark early tomorrow. The Cinco de Mayo fiesta all over the ballpark all afternoon long. There's going to be a lot going on here as we have a very festive weekend planned for you. All kinds of celebrations. Live music, salsa tasting, beer and margarita garden. dbacks.com/Cinco. And he is indeed safe at first. 5 o'clock start tomorrow. Zach Greinke against Charlie Morton. Here's Altuve, who has doubled and walked. He's got an RBI. He scored twice.
That speed is a wonderful thing. George Springer barreled one up in his first at bat for a clean single, but his next 2 at bats in the ball game, little rollers in the infield that he was able to leg out at first base.
Springer, the leadoff man, has been aboard all 3 times he's been up. Altuve hits one right at Peralta. 2 outs. Well, these Astros hitters, Bob. That's something that's been talked a lot about with Houston. Their philosophy has been up and down the line. You get a good fastball, go ahead and swing. Don't try, it's one thing to have, you want the high on base percentage, but don't worry about grinding out at bats. You get a fastball you think you can do some damage with, take a cut. That's a very aggressive hitting team up there.
A lot of top spin on that line drive off the bat of Altuve that time. Yeah, if he backspins that ball, the contact that he made, there's a pretty good chance it gets out of here, but a lot of top spin, like a hard curve ball from home plate all the way out to left field.
Yes, he went, says Mike DeMuro. Carlos Correa, a 2-run double in the second inning his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Saw Altuve line out early in the count there. Gurriel has seen 2 pitches and 2 at bats. He's on deck. These guys are up there looking to do damage early in counts. Just by a diving Descalso and down the left field line. Springer's going to come around and score. The relay from Ahmed, no throw, and it's 5-0 Houston. Second RBI double tonight for Carlos Correa.
Hanging changeup again off the plate inside, about belt high. Fortunately, it stays in the ballpark. Shoots it just past Daniel Descalso all the way down in the left field corner. Gary Pettis, the third base coach for the Astros, never stopped waving his arm. Brought Springer all the way around from first base to score on a ball hit down the left field line.
Well, the Astros in the second inning scored 2 runs with 2 outs. They get another 2-out run here in the fourth. 5-0 Houston. And here's Gurriel, who has twice swung at the first pitch. Nice backhand stab there by Avila. That keeps Correa at second base. Gurriel an RBI single and a flyout. He's 1 for 2. Boy, he has missed way up with the changeup. He spiked that one down in the dirt. Chris is kind of all over the place with that pitch tonight. And he's really leaned on it. Now over 80 pitches trying to get out of the fourth.
Yeah, early in the game I might have used the excuse he was a little overamped, and justifiably so, but we're in the fourth inning of this ball game. He should have settled in and found a good release point by now. Still struggling to find that strike zone.
Trying to get that fastball in on the hands. The hope is that whoever takes this rotation spot for the injured Robbie Ray can just give the D-backs 15 outs. Just get through 5 innings. And everything will be fine. That's a good example of that effect that you talked about earlier in the game, Bob, when you hang a changeup like that to a dangerous right-hand hitter. That was right there for Gurriel. He just couldn't keep it fair.
I mean, that's what you hope. If you make a mistake with a changeup and leave it up over the inside part of the plate, the best you can hope for is a line drive foul down that third baseline.
2-2. Yulieski Gurriel. Center field. That drops in front of Pollock. Here comes Correa, and it's 6-0 Houston. Two runs in the first, the second, and now the fourth.
Went down and got that one. Fastball just inside of the outside corner. Gurriel bangs it right back up the middle of the field. It was hit so hard, AJ had to kind of hold his ground to make sure that ball didn't skip by him. And that was all the time that Correa needed to score from second base.
And keep in mind, as we mentioned, this is an Astros offense that has really struggled. They just lost 6 of 10 on their last homestand, including the last 3 straight against the Yankees, when they really struggle to score some runs. There's a good changeup from Medlin. Reddick has walked and grounded out.
You mentioned those 3 games against the Yankees. The Astros were a combined 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position in 3 ball games. Tonight they're already 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, hard to believe this is the same offense that on the last homestand at one point went 28 consecutive innings without scoring a run. Four games against the Yankees at home earlier this week. They scored a total of 7 runs. They put up 6 here tonight. That one sailed. Another changeup that Medlin threw way over Avila's head. Almost to the backstop, and Gurriel moves up anyway.
Well, all 8 hits the Astros have in this ball game have come to the first 4 hitters in the lineup. From 5 on down, they're over.
D-backs will move some of the infielders around. Ahmed now goes over to the first base side of second. Descalso with Gurriel at second base stays at least somewhere near the bag at third. Medlin about to throw pitch number 90 in the ball game. That's fouled back. Medlin season high with the Reno Aces, 93 pitches. That was his last start, which was a week ago Wednesday. So tonight Medlin pitching for the first time in 9 days. 1-2 on Josh Reddick. Reaches down and pokes it, just foul. Oh, he just missed. You look at the numbers for Chris Medlin, and a lot of times when you're looking at pitchers at Reno or in the Pacific Coast League in general, you have to throw some of the numbers out. 4 starts at Reno, 0-3, the ERA right at 6, but you know, 18 innings, he'd given up 19 hits, struck out 18. Certainly numbers that were good enough to merit a start here tonight. Up the middle and through. This will get Gurriel home, and it's 7-0 Astros.
Well, after fouling off a couple of tough pitchers' pitches, he takes a hanging slider up and out over the plate, right back up the middle of the field once again for an RBI base hit.
Mike Butcher out to the mound. And once again, Chris Medlin just can't get that third out. The Astros have scored many of their runs tonight with 2 outs in the inning. They got 2 in the second with 2 outs. And they put up 3 here in the fourth. They need some length here. There's still no one warming up in the bullpen. But Medlin's just about on empty right now.
And he's really using a lot of off-speed pitches after that first inning. He's thrown 24 changeups in this ball game, only 13 for strikes, 9 curveballs, 4 for strikes, and 5 sliders, 3 in the strike zone.
Alex Bregman 0 for 2.
As I said just a few moments ago, really it's all about his fastball command. If he was able to hit some corners and keep the ball down at the knees, it might make those off-speed pitches more effective.
Well, this is a proud guy who's accomplished a lot at this level and been through a lot, as we've talked about. The 2 Tommy John surgeries, rotator cuff problems. Was pretty sure he was going to retire at one point, but decided he wanted to give it one more crack. Spent last year in the minors with the Braves. Signed a minor league deal with the D-backs this January. And he admitted there was a point not too long ago where he thought tonight might never happen. But he wanted to prove to himself he could get through some things and persevere. And it's been a tough night for him. Fastball misses up, and it's 3-0. Max Stassi, the catcher, would be next.
This 9 times in this game he's had a 2-0 count on an Astros hitter. That is no way to attack this lineup.
And the defending World Series champions. Especially considering that the Astros have been an excellent road team this year. They're 10-4 away from Houston. Only the Angels have a better road record in the major leagues. They've won 6 straight on the road. There's a walk. That's the 4th tonight issued by Medlin. And the bullpen gets busy. TJ McFarland. And the Sanderson Ford bullpen. They'll look for some length from TJ tonight and just try and get through this. Stassi has struck out and walked. He's 0 for 1. Well, you know this is not going the way Chris certainly hoped it would go. First time at a big league mound in 2 years. He admitted to having just about the same kind of butterflies as when he first got called up to the big leagues back in 2009 with Atlanta. And now at 32, has to wonder if he's going to get another chance after tonight. He's walked 4, struck out 4, given up 7 runs on 9 hits. Trying to get out of this 4th. Descalso at 3rd. They get the force on Reddick, but the Astros add 3 more. D-backs trail at 7-0.
first game. He said this was by design. Play the first game, out in the next game, and then he expects to be in that lineup tomorrow and then on Sunday as well. It's funny, I was asking the guys about him having him around, and A.J. Pollock said it's a lot of energy. And then David Peralta took it one step further. He said, look, I think he tops me when it comes to energy. And Chris Owings walked by, he said no. But, you know, he's really added a lift to these guys, and we look forward to seeing him back in the lineup tomorrow.
Absolutely, Jody. All part of Souza's return to play program. That's the way Torey Lovullo put it with us today. And he'll be in an everyday role pretty soon as he continues to ramp up. Peralta, I don't think anybody could take somebody with more energy than David Peralta. He'll lead off the fourth against Garrett Cole, who has struck out the last 6 Diamondback batters he's faced.
Can you measure energy in decibels?
I'm sure.
Because David leads the world in that.
Six consecutive strikeouts is already a career high for Garrett Cole. Jarrod Dyson on deck. Noah Syndergaard of the New York Mets had 8 consecutive strikeouts earlier this year. That's the most in the majors this season. So Cole going for 7 straight here, 3-2 on Peralta.
Now the thing about the 6 straight in the second and third inning, every hitter was down in the count either 0-2 or 1-2.
Well, he missed inside with a fastball, and the D-backs have their first base runner tonight.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Here's Dyson, who grounded out. As Jody mentioned, Gerard's in right field today. Steven Souza Jr., who made his D-backs debut yesterday, getting a scheduled day off. All part of his program. Cole missing with his fastball now, 1-0. Bregman in on the grass at third just a bit. There's that curveball. It's hard when a guy throws 97, 98 as easily as Cole does to get ready for that little baby curveball that drops in there at about 80, 82 or so. He can back that up with a hard slider. Here's another curveball. Chased a fastball out of the zone. 7 strikeouts for Cole.
Just a little bit of tailing action on that 4-seamer away from Jarrod Dyson that time. Cole doesn't really try to get a lot of movement on his fastball other than from his hand to the catcher's mitt. It's all about velocity with that 4-seamer.
Goldie lined out hard to Springer in right his first time up. Astros put 3 infielders on the left side against Goldschmidt. He didn't go, says Mike DeMuro. Held off on the slider. It's 1-0. Torey Lovullo saying that right now Goldie's in a Paul funk. And he says, you know, we're so spoiled by these incredible numbers Goldie has put up over his career that when it doesn't go the way we've seen, we think, oh no, there's a crisis, and there's really not. But clearly he's not been the same guy lately that we're used to seeing. Fastball in at 95.
That's a good example right there. Just some indecision. I mean, how often, rarely does Goldie check a swing.
Yeah.
He recognizes the pitch. He makes up his mind whether he wants to swing at it or not, and then he takes an aggressive swing. But we've seen that little half check swing where he starts the bat and then stops it. Another one.
Slider. Yeah, Goldie has struck out in nearly half his at bats in the last 13 games. And the strikeout rate is now up to 32%. It was 22% last year. And if you look at the data, he's not really chasing bad pitches. The biggest change has been less frequent contact, swinging at pitches inside the strike zone. Swings and misses, lays off a high fastball there. And that's what's really sort of made you go, that's a little odd. There you go. It's right about 32% now. When he swings and misses. There's a fastball, swing and a miss, and he strikes out. That's 8 for Cole today.
Well, no shame in being late on a Garrett Cole fastball, but he blew that one right by Goldie.
50 pitches, 35 strikes. He's walked 1, punched out 8. You got A.J. Pollock looking to lead off the second inning. Peralta's down there at first, 2 outs. D-backs still looking for their first base hit tonight. AJ last 17 games hitting nearly .330. That includes 9 home runs.
Dodgers leading the Padres 4-0 in the 6th inning. Walker Buehler with a no-hitter through the first 5 of that game for the Dodgers.
Boy, did you see the news on Ryu?
Oh yeah,
the groin tear. He tore the groin muscle off the bone after leaving the other night. He's going to be out for a long time, and so they're going to need Walker Buehler in LA. That series, of course, in Monterrey, Mexico. We're also tonight on Albert Pujols watch. Pujols beginning play tonight, 1 base hit shy of 3,000. Angels lead at Seattle 1-0. They're in the 4th. Safeco Field. Rockies winners tonight. They beat the Mets 8-7 at Citi Field in New York. Giants in Atlanta. They beat the Braves 9-4. And it looks like, speaking of the Giants, boy, Johnny Cueto keeps going to different doctors trying to get 3rd and 4th opinions. Looking for a guy who will tell him he doesn't need Tommy John surgery, but it's not looked good for Johnny Cueto.
That's usually not a good sign when you keep asking for other opinions, just hoping to hear something good. Red Sox beat the Rangers tonight 5-1. J.D. Martinez hit his 7th homer, and Mookie Betts, number 13.
Stop Mookie again?
Again.
Wow. Yeah, J.D. had a home run, I think it was yesterday, too. He's starting to get it going in Boston. Boy, that Red Sox offense. 2-2 on A.J. Pollock. There's the curveball. 9 strikeouts through 4 innings for Garrett Cole, who holds a 7-0 lead. Rough night so far. D-backs still looking for their first base hit against Garrett Cole. They trail the Astros 7-0. Fans, you can watch every out-of-market regular season baseball game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. It includes MLB at Bat Premium. That lets you watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. The left-hander TJ McFarland on to start the fifth in relief of Chris Medlin, who struggled here tonight. Jake Marisnick will lead off the Astros fifth. Marisnick has struck out, popped up. He's 0 for 2, the center fielder. Boy, Garrett Cole hadn't to walk David Peralta. You'd be looking at 9 consecutive strikeouts, and you'd be talking major league history. Cole struck out the side in the second and the third. He punched out 6 in a row. Walked Peralta to lead off the fourth, and then struck out Dyson, Goldie, and Pollock. So that's 9 strikeouts in a span of 10 batters.
Major league record is 10, held by Tom Seaver. Tom, terrific.
Tommy. Fly ball backs up Dyson in right field, at the track, at the wall. Oh, Gerard Dyson, what a play! He takes a home run away from Jake Marisnick.
What a catch by Gerard Dyson. Timed his leap perfectly. Our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool play of the game. Doesn't get much cooler than taking a home run away from somebody. Wow.
First thing D-backs fans have had to cheer about tonight. Look at Gerard Dyson. Just plants that cleat in the fence. The arm full extension all the way over there. And nobody happier about that than TJ McFarland. Here's the pitcher, Cole.
Well, you're right about using his foot on the fence. That allowed him to hang up there above the level of the fence just long enough to make that play.
He has always been an excellent defensive outfielder. That's one of the things the D-backs liked about Gerard Dyson, not just the speed. Been a great center fielder for a long time. The defensive analytics are top shelf among big league outfielders. And we just saw why. Garrett Cole strikes out for the third time tonight. George Springer, the leadoff man. He has singled and scored 3 times. Boy, what a World Series George Springer had last year against the Dodgers. World Series MVP, hit 5 home runs. Right to Ahmed at shortstop. One of the defensive plays of the year all over the majors. D-backs right fielder Gerard Dyson going back. Foot on the fence, arm over the wall, takes a home run away.
You by Geico. We go back to the 1999 season. After 6,136 at-bats without hitting one, Mark Grace hit his first career grand slam in a 12-11 win over Colorado at Wrigley Field.
Gracie.
How about that?
Here he is. He was also behind Kerry Wood, which was another this day in history, the famous Kerry Wood 20 strikeout game. Descalso, long run for Reddick. And Josh Reddick turns in a tremendous play. Garrett Cole still has not given up a base hit.
Well, that's a great play under any circumstance, but especially to maintain a no-hitter. Wow, snagged that one right off the grass out there. And it manages to hang on as he tumbles into foul territory. Outstanding play by Josh Reddick.
Wow. It's only the fourth out recorded tonight by Garrett Cole that didn't come on a strikeout. Chris Owings. That Kerry Wood 20 strikeout game, May 6th. For the anniversary coming up on Sunday.
You know, Woody's record going into that game was 2-2 and his ERA was 5.89.
Yeah, it did kind of just come out of nowhere. That was part of the appeal of it.
I remember seeing the post-game interview on WGN television that day, and Woody was still shaking. He was just so wired up.
There's a base hit from CO. Reddick over to cut it off. Owings heads for second, and he's in there with a double.
A cement mixer slider that just kind of stayed on the inside part of the plate, never really took much break, and Chris Owings bangs it out into the left field corner for the first knock of the game. Now that the seal has been broken, buckle up. Hopefully.
Still got plenty of time. Nick Ahmed struck out his first time. It's funny that Kerry Wood strikeout game, 20 strikeouts 20 years ago Sunday, came against the Astros.
I mean, you strike out 20 major league hitters, obviously everything is working, but I had never seen a slider like Kerry Wood was throwing that day. He was starting it behind right-handed hitters and breaking it all the way across to the outside corner or even farther off the outside corner.
Off the side of the mound, tricky play for Correa, and they're able to retire Ahmed. Owings moves up. Yeah, Kerry Wood, 9 innings, no runs, gave up just 1 hit, did not walk a batter, did hit one, Craig Biggio, who got hit about 5,000 times in his career, and struck out 20. Alex Avila. Two outs and Owings at third.
Another this day in baseball history that I thought was kind of interesting. Back in 2007 in the second inning right here at Chase Field, Julio Franco hitting against Randy Johnson. The oldest matchup in Major League Baseball history.
Julio might have been even older than he said.
Yeah, he was 48, sneaking up on 49, and RJ was almost 44, just a few months away from his 44th birthday.
We talk about great batting stances of all time. Julio Franco was all over the place. Oh, and 2. Speaking of Randy Johnson, Randy, of course, had that brilliant half season when he was a Houston Astro. One of 4 Houston pitchers ever with at least 60 strikeouts in one calendar month. J.R. Richard, Mike Scott, and tonight's starter Garrett Cole with the big unit in that group. Cole coming off a 61 strikeout April, an American League record. All smiles, the big unit. Swing and a miss. 10 strikeouts for Garrett Cole through 5 innings. D-backs trail at 7-0. You can buy some right here at the ballpark. You know who loves dirt? Kids. They love playing in it. Calling all kids between the ages of 10 and 16. If you'd like to be part of D-backs telecast, interview a player, go behind the scenes and see what it takes to produce a baseball game. Come on out Sunday. Chase Field, Fox Sports Arizona. Sanderson Ford Kidcaster auditions from 11:30 to 1:30 at the Sandlot during the D-backs of the Astros game. Little known fact, that's actually how we discovered Brian Henry. We came out for a Kidcaster audition, wanted to see what it was like to produce a baseball game, and now he's working as a producer.
And ran the bases after the game.
Yes. None of that is true. All right, Brian. Brian does an outstanding job producing D-backs baseball, pre and post game shows. Jose Altuve leads off the 6th against T.J. McFarland on in relief of Chris Medlin, who had a rough night here, 7 runs in 4 innings. Brian always fills in when our regular producer Brad the Big Dog Weimer is off playing video games.
Going to movie premieres.
Oh yeah, he's all fired up about the last one. Apparently everybody died at the end.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I thought they had superpowers.
So there will be no sequel.
There's always a sequel.
Oh.
They'll bring them back, or they'll do a prequel. Now they do prequels. We killed off everybody, so let's go back to the beginning and start right from there.
Well, it'd be nice to start at the beginning again here tonight.
Wouldn't it, though? That's hit hard right at Ahmed. Now we're starting to see some defense in this one from both sides. Big night for Carlos Correa. A pair of RBI doubles. He's knocked in 3 runs.
Talking about a big night for defense involving the Houston Astros, as a matter of fact. In 1969, the Astros set a National League record. In a 9-inning game, they turned 7 double plays.
In 9 innings?
In 9 innings. 3-1 win over the Giants back in 1969 on this day.
Now I got to look at who pitched. All right. May 4th today. Oh, Juan Marichal started that game for the Giants.
Well, whoever the Astros had on the mound must have had a nasty sinker going.
This is weird. Let's see. Oh, Denny LeMaster started. Gave up a couple of hits. Out for the reach of McFarland. And CO makes a nice play to clean it up. Denny LeMaster started, retired only one batter, and left the ball game. Dooley Womack.
Oh, Dooley Womack. Good name.
The pride of Columbia, South Carolina came on, and Dooley worked 6 scoreless innings. And then Fred Gladding came on and got 2 2/3, got the save.
Nice.
Dooley Womack. See, that was worth it just to come up with Dooley Womack.
Dooley Womack. I haven't heard that name in years.
That's an outstanding baseball name. Yuli Gurriel.
And of course, every catcher in the world knows that on this day in 1871, Bill Lennon becomes the first catcher to throw out an attempted base stealer. First caught stealing ever.
In what year?
1871.
Gurriel sends one toward the left field corner. It's off the bullpen wall, and he's got his 3rd hit tonight. A double to go along with a pair of RBI singles. Well, that guy can hit.
Well, he likes that ball down too. Just drops the bat head on it, hooks it down into the left field corner. And I've got the newest addition to this day in baseball history.
Yeah.
On this day in 2018, Albert Pujols got hit number 3,000.
I just looked it up. Did that just happen?
Just happened.
How about that? That coming at Safeco Field in Seattle, Albert Pujols, where the Angels have a lead over the Mariners. Josh Reddick
joins Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Alex Rodriguez as the only 4 players in Major League history with 3,000 hits and 600 or more homers.
As usual, your staff is well ahead of everybody because it's not even in the box score yet.
Well, they could be making things up once again.
That has happened before. It's been a problem. One and one on Reddick. Reddick has walked. He's got an RBI single, 1 for 2. Astros with 7 runs on 10 hits. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the fourth against Chris Medlin. Second inning of relief for TJ McFarland. Gets the call from Dan Isonia, 1-2. Pitcher's spot will lead off the home half of this inning for the Diamondbacks. No one warming up in the bullpen. Yes, he went. Brian Gorman. McFarland strikes out Reddick, strands the double. It's 7-0 Houston. gift he's always wanted for Father's Day. A game of catch right here on Chase Field. That's right, before the game on June 17th. If you buy a special ticket package, you can play catch on the field. Now this is limited space, so you got to get on this. dbacks.com/dad. Father's Day. Play catch on the field here at the ballpark. That's a great idea. TJ McFarland will take the at bat to lead off the 6th against Garrett Cole, who's already got 10 strikeouts. He's walked 1. He's given up just 1 hit. Cole coming off a 10-pitch 5th inning. And it's another double-digit strikeout game for Garrett Cole. Already his 5th this season, and he's got 11 so far. His first 3 games with the Astros this year, he struck out 11, 11, and 14 batters. And then in his last start, struck out 12 Oakland A's. He's punched out 11 D-backs here. Peralta's flied out and walked.
I guess if you wanted to do some advanced scouting on Garrett Cole, you should probably go back and look at video of the game that he pitched against the Seattle Mariners. It was a 7-1 Houston win, but he only struck out 5 Mariners. They must have been doing something right against him.
Yeah, as you said, he got the win his 2nd of the year. Walked 2, struck out 5, 95 pitches through 7. And then in his next start only struck out 8 Angels in 7 innings. He was off his game again. This is slicing toward Reddick in left. Cole struck out the side in the 2nd and the 3rd. Walked Peralta to lead off the 4th, and then struck out 3 more in that inning. So at one point of the ball game, he struck out 9 of 10 batters. 2 down in the 6th. Dyson is grounded out, struck out. Other thing about Garrett Cole, you know, usually we say, well, if you're going to strike out all these guys, you have to throw a lot of pitches. He's so dominant that he doesn't need to. He's worked into the 7th inning in every one of his starts this year. And the pitch count well under control here with 2 outs in the 6th. '97 right there, in on the knees. Yes, he went, says Brian Gorman. A dirty dozen for Garrett Cole. He's punched out 12. He leads at 7-0. Jackson Generals, Hillsboro Hops, Visalia Rawhide, Roll Hide. You name it. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Tomorrow afternoon, a 5 o'clock start. Charlie Morton against Zach Greinke. Look at the numbers on Morton. 4-0 with a 1.72 ERA. He's been even better than Garrett Cole, if you believe that. Diamondback Live pregame show at 4:30. First pitch at 5:10 on Fox Sports Arizona. Don't forget the pregame Cinco de Mayo fiesta right outside the ballpark here. Alex Bregman leads off the Astros' 7th inning against TJ McFarland. Bregman has walked, flied out, grounded out, 0 for 2. That's a fair ball down the right field line. Dyson bobbles the ball in the corner. Bregman stops at second. And the D-backs throw it around the infield on the relay. Leadoff double for Bregman, his 9th this year.
Smokes that ball down the right field line. Gerard Dyson got to it in good shape, but when he turned to throw, he lost the handle on the ball. He quickly recovered. Bregman could not advance on to third base, but then, as you said, the ball got back in the infield and bounced around and got kicked around a little bit. Just a little sloppy on this play, and a little sloppy yesterday in the 8th inning.
Yeah, that one hurt, letting that one get away against the Dodgers on those 2 wild pitches. Max Stassi, the catcher, 0 for 2 with a walk.
I mentioned that Dodgers-San Diego game down in Monterrey, Mexico. Walker Buehler with a no-hitter through 6 was taken out of the ball game at 93 pitches in favor of Tony Cingrani, who threw a no-hit 7th.
Wow, that's a tough one for Dave Roberts, certainly. They have to make that call, but they're going to need Walker Buehler with Hyunjin Ryu now hurt with that severe groin injury. Suffered here the other night. Tore the muscle right off the bone. That stays fair for Descalso at third. Here comes Bregman, and he moves up. Well, the last time Jake Marisnick hit a home run out to right, only Gerard Dyson climbed the fence and took it away. And one of the best defensive plays we've seen all year in any major league game.
He showed his athletic ability, perfect timing. Planted that foot on the fence to hang up in the air just long enough to make that play.
And you know, the thing about that, Bob, is oftentimes you see guys, Goldie's going to have to make a nice play here in foul ground, get just maybe the glove over the fence to rob a home run. But Dyson was full extension. That whole arm was over the fence. Take a look at this. Watch the foot on the fence in that chain link, and then full arm all the way over to take it away. Wow.
Boy, what a great view of it those fans had out there in right field. Sitting right behind the fence. The one gentleman with his glove thought he was going to make the play.
Yeah, that's the downside. You don't get the souvenir, but you get a terrific seat. Garrett Cole has struck out 3 times, which is ironic considering as a pitcher he struck out 12 so far. Rough night here for Chris Medlin, his first big league start in 2 years. Chris lasted only 4 innings, gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. He walked 4. And TJ trying to give Torey Lovullo some length out of that bullpen, looking to close out his 3rd inning of relief. Zach Greinke versus Charlie Morton tomorrow. Matt Cook and Justin Verlander on Sunday. 2 outs in the 7th. Bregman at third. 1-2 on Garrett Cole. Struck him out. Third strikeout for TJ. Strands the leadoff double. Keeps it 7-0 Houston. Seattle. Albert Pujols off Mike Leake, career hit number 3,000. Albert Pujols, the 32nd player to reach 3,000 hits and only the 4th to also have 600 home runs. A big night in Seattle. Albert Pujols, 3,000 hits. And there's the very exclusive group. Aaron, A-Rod, Mays, and Pujols. At least 600 homers and 3,000 base hits. You can have one of those guys. Who you taking?
Whew, that's a tough one,
isn't it?
Man, I don't know.
I'll give it. I would narrow it down probably to Aaron or Mays. All due respect.
Sure, sure.
So Aaron or Mays?
I think I would probably go with Mays, only because I know what Willie was like in the clubhouse.
What was he like?
Oh boy, he was a lot of fun. I mean, when I was playing with the Giants, they invited a lot of the former Giants to come back to spring training. Mike McCormick and Gaylord Perry and Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and Jim Ray Hart. And some of the most fun I ever had in spring training was sitting around the clubhouse for hours after the game was over, listening to Willie Mays tell stories.
I've heard some of those myself. It's
Whoa.
a thrill.
What an experience. Uh-oh. Right into the booth next door.
The moral compass, Mike Farron, is down. Chasing the ball. Tom Candiotti can't be bothered. 0-2 on Goldie. It's in the radio booth just to our right here. Goldie is lined out and struck out 0-2. Garrett Cole with 12 strikeouts so far. Make it 13.
Nine of his 13 strikeouts in this game have come on 4 or fewer pitches. Our key to the game was to grind, to try to run up a pitch count, get Cole and Charlie Morton and Justin Verlander out of the game as early as possible, but that hasn't been easy tonight.
80 pitches, 59 strikes. He has walked 1, struck out 13. The D-backs only hit a 1-out double in the 5th inning by Chris Owings. AJ has struck out twice. He's 0-2. Yeah, he was lucky enough to be there last year when We inducted Willie Mays into the Cactus League Hall of Fame. And you were right. He entertained the entire room with some fantastic stories. He's a funny guy.
He really, really is. And either he has a really good memory or he's great at making stuff up. But either way, it was tremendously entertaining.
Astros have 3 infielders on the left side against AJ. That's popped up. Cole's under it. And Gurriel comes in. 2 down. Garrett Cole, 13 strikeouts. His season high is 14. Here's Daniel Descalso. Garrett Cole, 14 strikeouts in his 3rd start this year at home against the Texas Rangers. Threw 93 pitches in that game, 67 strikes. 0-1 on Descalso, who has struck out and flied out.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, partner. Usually when a guy strikes out a lot of batters, that pitch count goes through the roof early in the ball game, and you have to start thinking about getting him out of there because of pitch count. But so many efficient strikeouts tonight for Garrett Cole.
Just shows you how dominant he's been so far.
I mean, since they've been keeping track of pitch counts in 1988, the most strikeouts with 4 or fewer pitches is 14. And Max Scherzer had 14 of those in his 20 strikeout game.
And the thing about the acquisition of Cole for 4 players from the Pirates in the offseason, he's 27 years old. So if you're the Astros, you're getting him in his prime years here. And he has certainly looked it. Astros do a lot of shifting. Looking to match a season high with 14 strikeouts. Got it. Garrett Cole through 7 has punched out 14 Diamondbacks, working on a 1-hit shutout. Trailing the Astros 7-0. The headline has been Garrett Cole, who's matched a season high with 14 strikeouts. He's given up just 1 base hit, a Chris Owings double in the 5th inning. D-backs have had only 2 base runners against Cole. TJ McFarland out there after a rough night by Chris Medlin. Medlin got the start, gave up 7 runs, all earned on 9 hits in 4 innings, and walked 4. So McFarland has saved the bullpen here tonight. He's already given Torey Lovullo 3 innings of relief, and George Springer starts the 8th. Now, before you give up on the D-backs tonight, or at least give up watching the rest of the game, keep this in mind. We were talking about how Sunday is the anniversary, the 20-year anniversary of Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game. Not that we'd like to see this happen, but Cole can still match that mark. With 6 outs to go, he's at 14 strikeouts.
Yeah, normally I would disagree with you, but Garrett Cole has shown no signs of slowing down. His stuff is still crisp. His velocity is still good. His location has been outstanding all night long.
Springer has 3 singles. He scored 3 times. That one is to Chris Owings at second base. Garrett Cole struck out the side in the second and the third. Walked Peralta to lead off the fourth and then struck out 3 more. So at one point he struck out 9 of 10. Struck out 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. 14 strikeouts against only 1 hit and 1 walk. Here's Altuve, who had an RBI double in the first. He walked in the second. He scored twice. 1 for 3. Speaking of efficiency, Garrett Cole had a 7-pitch first inning. The only inning tonight in which he did not strike out a batter. And he's really been in the rocking chair here lately. 10 pitches in the 5th, 11 in the 6th, and 12 in the 7th. As you said, very efficient.
And one thing we know about this Diamondbacks team, I mean, they've only lost 10 ball games before tonight, and they've bounced back from each one of those losses like champs the next day, but they haven't been dominated in a ball game yet this year like we've seen tonight. You look at their 10 losses: a 2-1 loss, a 5-3, 5-4, 4-3, 4-1, 5-3, 3-1, 2-1, 5-2. The biggest lopsided defeat was when Clayton Kershaw beat Zach Godley at Dodger Stadium 7-2.
I think Kershaw had 12 strikeouts in that game. Yeah.
But in each one of those losses, you always felt like the Diamondbacks were one big hit away from either tying the game or taking a lead.
Altuve pokes one down the line. Jose Altuve pulls in with his second double tonight, his 7th of the year.
You can just imagine what kind of hitter this guy's going to be when he grows up. I mean, that's an adjustment he made right there. He got fooled by that pitch. Had to kind of extend his swing, bend over at the waist, stick his bat out there on the outside part of the plate, and still barreled it up down the left field line.
That's why he has led the American League in hits each of the last 4 years. Carlos Correa has a pair of RBI doubles. What you were just mentioning about the D-backs, let's flip it and talk about Garrett Cole. He's always put up these big strikeout numbers this year, and usually they're dominant wins. In his wins this year, 8-2, 11 strikeouts. Won a 1-0 game with 11 strikeouts. Won 7-1, won 8-4 his last time out, so he's used to getting a lot of offensive support like he had tonight. Dyson's under this one. Two outs for Gurriel.
I think we've been very fortunate up to this point of the season that the Diamondbacks haven't had any of those games where they go out and lay an egg and can't get going offensively, and the pitchers can't get anybody out, and you know, it just feels right away like it's going to be a lopsided ball game. This is the first one I can remember.
Well, Cole is working on a 1-hit shutout. The Dodgers, as you mentioned, playing the Padres in Monterrey, Mexico tonight, have taken a combined no-hitter into the 9th inning. There have been 11 combined no-hitters in baseball history. Right now the Dodgers in the 9th inning lead the Padres 4-0. Gurriel, another base hit, dunks that one in front of Peralta. Altuve coming home, and he will score the 8th Houston run. Gurriel is 4th hit tonight.
One thing we know about Yuli Gurriel, you just don't want to throw him a strike on that first delivery. This guy's ready to swing at the rosin bag if you throw it, and poor throw home there by David Peralta. Very little chance to get Altuve. You got to hit the cutoff man right there and hold that runner at first base.
Josh Reddick, the left fielder. That's foul right in front of Alex Cinchon at first. And there's our Golden Glover down there, Dick Wrong Way Roberson.
Nice job, Wrong Way.
And there's of course Ron, don't call me Cliff Pennington. We got some real veterans working tonight.
Yeah.
These guys have been around. They know what they're doing.
They got the defensive shift on. The left-handed throwers in the right field corner, vice versa. The right-handed thrower in the left field corner. I think that's proper defensive alignment.
Not their first rodeo. The Walker Buehler, the rookie, started that Dodger game in Mexico against the Padres and was pulled with a no-hitter intact after the pitch count became a concern. So the Dodgers in Mexico right now, a combined no-hitter in the 9th inning. They lead the Padres 4-0.
One no-hit inning from Tony Cingrani, one from Yimi Garcia.
So I might be looking at a lot of baseball history tonight. Albert Pujols got his 3,000th hit at Seattle for the Angels. And a combined no-hitter in the works for the Dodgers in Mexico. Rockies won tonight. They beat the Mets 8-7 in New York. Giants 9-4 winners in Atlanta. And the D-backs is staring down the barrel here of their 3rd consecutive loss. Took them a month to lose back-to-back games. And this will bring the losing streak up to 3. Barring a sensational comeback against Garrett Cole, who so far has given up only 1 hit. Can't be a lot of fun managing these games, right? You're down there, Torey Lovullo, Jerry Narron. There's Garrett Cole, who's got 14 strikeouts. But so you, thank goodness for T.J. McFarland, who saved the bullpen tonight.
Again.
Boy, you know, yeah, we've said that what 3 or 4 times already this year. Into the shift, that's Nick Ahmed, 6-3 on the putout. TJ gets us to the home half of the 8th. D-backs down 8-0. Bottom 8 here at Chase Field. D-backs trail the Astros 8-0. Fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, don't forget you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. That's presented locally by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the free app. Take Fox Sports Arizona and your D-backs with you wherever you go. Garrett Cole has been the headliner here tonight. The Astros starter has matched a career high with 14 strikeouts. And he's out there to start the 8th inning working on a 1-hit shutout. It's already Cole's 2nd game this year with 14 strikeouts. This is only his 7th start. Chris Owings has the Diamondbacks' only base hit tonight, a 1-out double in the 5th inning. D-backs have had only 2 base runners against Garrett Cole. The Owings double in the 5th. Before that, Peralta, a leadoff walk in the 4th. Some defensive changes behind Garrett Cole. Derek Fisher is now in left field. Josh Reddick moves over to right. Taking over for George Springer, and there's a new career high. Make it 15 strikeouts for Garrett Cole.
Hard slider. Look at that thing, still biting down and away from the right-handed hitting Chris Owings. His stuff is still as crisp as it was in the 1st inning.
Nick Ahmed has struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2. Astros record for most strikeouts in a game is 18, set by the great Don Wilson back in 1968. 3 other pitchers for the Astros have struck out 16 in a ball game: Wilson, Nolan Ryan, and Randy Johnson. Fastball miss for Dan Isonia, 2-1. Yeah, we got a break. We don't have to deal with Dallas Keuchel, but we get Morton tomorrow and Verlander on Sunday. Drop that curveball in there. 2-2. Alex Avila on deck. Missed with another curve, and Nick has worked at full 3-2. Garrett Cole only 2 over the minimum so far through 7 1/3. Bounces shortstop. Correa charges, and they retire Ahmed. 2 down in the 8th. Alex Avila has punched out twice.
Well, for the Diamondbacks offensively right now, David Peralta would have to be considered the player of the game. He hasn't struck out yet, and he drew a walk.
Yeah, David has twice flying out to left field. This Astros pitching staff with Morton and Cole and Verlander and Keuchel, McCullers. They've already got 6 games when their pitchers have at least 12 strikeouts. The rest of baseball has 6.
My.
It is quite a starting staff they've assembled. And a lot of it they've taken from other places. You know, Verlander obviously acquired last year, and boy, I don't think they win the World Series without him. Charlie Morton's been a tremendous reclamation project, the former Pirate. Garrett Cole himself acquired from Pittsburgh this winter.
And coming into play tonight, the Astros in 33 ball games had struck out 347 opposing hitters. So what is that, about 10, a little more than 10 a game average? That'll go up tonight.
Well, Garrett Cole in his career, now in his 6th major league season, has never thrown a shutout. He's thrown exactly 1 career complete game. That was in 2016. Now at 101 pitches. 1-2 on Avila. Cole's high for the season, by the way, 109 pitches. That was 2 starts ago in a loss against the Angels. Garrett Cole through 8 innings with 16 strikeouts. He's given up only 1 hit. Nothing. A reminder, fans, you'll receive 15% off at the Chase Field Team Shop when you use the card by Gila River Casinos. TJ McFarland doing yeoman's work after a short and frustrating night for Chris Medlin, who went only 4 innings. TJ about to work his 5th inning in relief. Garrett Cole, a career high 16 strikeouts, 3 outs away from his first career shutout. TJ came on to start the 5th inning after Medlin went only 4, gave up 7 runs, all earned on 9 hits. And he's worked 4 innings of relief, given up only 1 run. Alex Bregman leads off the Houston 9th. So Garrett Cole has matched Don Wilson, Nolan Ryan, and Randy Johnson for 2nd on the Astros all-time list. Most strikeouts in 1 game with 16. The record is 18, held by Don Wilson, set in 1968. Bregman has doubled and walked tonight. He's 1 for 3. Adam Liberator is in for the Dodgers, trying to close out that combined no-hitter. They're in the bottom of the 9th inning in Monterrey, Mexico. They're 1 out away. They lead the Padres 4-0.
Franchi Cordero, the hitter for the Padres right now.
Walker Buehler started that game. The rookie had to come out because of pitch count concerns. And the rest of the bullpen has kept the no-hitter intact. This is kind of what the Astros have been doing away from home. They have a 10-4 road record. Only the Angels have been better. And sure enough, Anaheim is leading at Seattle 3-0. Albert Pujols got hit number 3,000 tonight. This would be Houston's 7th consecutive road win. Max Stassi, the catcher, on deck. Justin Verlander starts here Sunday afternoon against Matt Cook. Verlander 4-0 with a 1.13 ERA. The no-hitter is complete. The Dodgers have no-hit the Padres tonight in Monterrey, Mexico. 4-0. They beat San Diego. Fly ball backs up Pollock in center. AJ on the track. One down. This is the final out in Mexico. Adam Liberator closes out a combined no-hitter by the Dodgers, the first of a 3-game series against San Diego in Monterrey. First combined no-hitter in Dodger history.
Well, Davey Roberts said today's the day it turns when they were here in town. They haven't lost since.
Max Stassi, the catcher, 0 for 3 with a walk. Oh, their bullpen did a tremendous job here Wednesday night when Ryu left in the second inning with that groin injury. Held on for a 2-1 win. And it came through tonight to preserve and finish that no-hitter. Peralta in left plays it on a hop, a base hit for the Astros catcher. 1-out single. We'll see if Garrett Cole comes out into the on-deck circle. He would hit after the center fielder Marisnik. There's no one out there yet. Torey Lovullo checking in with Dan Isonia. And we wondered if this might happen because we've seen Daniel Descalso, and we've joked a little bit about this with him before, come in and pitch. And Descalso is on the mound back after this. Daniel made 2 pitching appearances for the D-backs last season. He's done it 3 times in his career. And both times for the D-backs last year, he worked a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings of mop-up relief. the first position player in D-backs history to pitch twice in one season.
He has a fastball in the mid to upper 90s, throws an over-the-top curveball, a hard slider, split finger.
You're making all that up.
Yes, I am. He's just going to throw it for the middle of the plate, let his defense work behind him.
Devin Marrero takes over for Daniel at third. Now, you and I joked with Daniel before. There's that wicked fastball at 75. We were joking with him. He didn't want to pitch this year. One, because it would mean the D-backs were getting blown out.
Right.
But two, because in 2 1/3 innings in his career, he's retired every batter he's faced, and he didn't want to lose his perfect record. He wanted to retire with a career ERA of 0.
Well, there's something to be said for that.
He's still got a chance here. 1-1 on Marisnik, who's 0 for 4. And Descalso's ahead 1-2.
And we've talked about this every time Daniel or any position player has to take the mound for that matter. It's a no-win situation for the hitters. If you get a knock against a utility infielder, big deal. But if he gets you out, your teammates will never let you forget it.
High in the air toward the left field corner. David is near the line, and he's got it in foul territory. Another out recorded by Daniel Descalso, and now the pitcher Cole, who's working on a one-hit shutout, will take the at-bat in the top of the 9th. He has struck out all 4 times he's been up there. Daniel Descalso, despite his perfect record on the mound, has never had a strikeout. He's got his chance right here. Starts him off with a 78-mile-an-hour heater. Boy, Descalso, Bob, is really feeling it tonight. He's bringing the gas.
Sneaking up on 80.
Electric stuff. He's a strike away. They're on their feet at Chase Field, and I'm not kidding. Can Descalso get that first career K? He got him. Still perfect, Daniel Descalso. Cole goes for the shutout when we come back. Short night for Chris Medlin. 7 runs all earned on 9 hits in 4 innings, and a brilliant night for Garrett Cole, who is 3 outs away from his first career shutout. He's already set a career high with 16 strikeouts. If he strikes out the side in the 9th inning, he will set a new Houston record for most strikeouts in a game, which is 18. held by Don Wilson, set in 1968. Devin Marrero, who came on to take over at third base for the pitcher Daniel Descalso, will lead off the Arizona ninth. Garrett Cole has never thrown a shutout. He's thrown one career complete game. And it was in July of 2016. Cole, July 27th at PNC Park against Seattle. Went the distance, gave up 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 6 in that game. He's ahead of Marrero, 0-2. One more strikeout and he moves up to second on the Astros all-time list for most strikeouts in a game. Right now tied with Johnson, Ryan, and Wilson at 16th.
Still throwing exactly what his catcher calls for here in the ninth inning after 104 pitches. That last one, he wanted a fastball up in the 0-2 count, and that's exactly what Garrett Cole did. Everything he's wanted to throw tonight, he's been able to execute.
97 miles an hour, just missed. It's 2-2 on Marrero. Cole's season high 109 pitches 2 starts ago against the Angels. Altuve on the hop from second.
And it hasn't just been one pitch tonight for Garrett Cole. He struck out 16, 5 on fastballs, 4 on curveballs, and 7 on sliders.
And here's the only Diamondbacks batter Garrett Cole has not struck out tonight. Peralta has twice flied out to left. He walked in the 4th inning. One of only 2 base runners allowed by Cole tonight. A 4th inning walk to Peralta. A 1-out double in the 5th by Chris Owens, the only D-backs hit. Joe Smith, the right-hander, is getting loose in the bullpen in case the pitch count gets too far along. It's been a big night all over the major leagues. Albert Pujols got career base hit number 3,000. The Angels in Seattle, and the Dodgers threw a combined no-hitter against the Padres in Monterrey, Mexico. So Garrett Cole's big night tonight is about 3rd on the list so far. It's been that kind of night around the major leagues. Line to Gurriel at first, 2 down. Gerard Dyson. .99 miles an hour from Garrett Cole on the 112th pitch of the ball game. He's a strike away. 99 again. Gracie Webby Todd standing by. D-backs live postgame show is next. 0-2 on Gerard Dyson. Popped up, playable for Bregman at 3rd. Garrett Cole, his first career shutout, his 2nd career complete game. He blanks the Diamondbacks 8-0 with 16 strikeouts.
That's as good a pitching performance as we've seen this year. That's as good a pitching performance as I've seen in a long time. Garrett Cole on top of everything from the first pitch to the last pitch of this game.
Astros snap a 3-game losing streak. The D-backs have now dropped 3 in a row. A lot to talk about here. As we said, Gracie and Webby standing by with Todd.
Steve, thank you very much. And guys, I suppose you're wondering why I asked you here tonight.
I think you could have done this one alone, or wave the white flag.
Yeah, but you know what? There's so much to talk about here on both sides of the equation. For the Astros, certainly Cole, and for the Diamondbacks, Medlin. So we really need to dive into both pitchers, don't we?
Totally. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, what do you got, Gracie?
I know one was really, really good. I mean, really good.
Yeah, and
that was the guy for Houston, Garrett Cole.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break and reconvene, and I can't wait to get back to really what you said on the pregame show, Mark, about the advanced meeting for the Diamondbacks on how to try and approach Cole, and we'll break all that down. Diamondbacks Live is around the corner right after this.